third phase of moon.
Blake Cousins, welcome back, everybody, from around the world. You're with me, third phase of moon, and I'm glad you're joining me tonight because we've got some new news coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Not a UFO, people, but a USO. Well, apparently, a crew of an offshore supply vessel reportedly witnessed a massive UFO rise from the Gulf of Mexico and sped away into the skies. According to the testimony logged in with NUFORC, the National UFO Reporting Center, report that the chief engineer aboard the unnamed craft claims that on March 21st, 2017, he informed members of his crew witnessed a UFO rise silently from the ocean just before dusk. According to the engineer's testimony, the craft was completely silent and even appeared to repel water as it rose from the Gulf. The scene lasted about 40 seconds. The craft rose up out of the water, and no water was dripping from the craft. Within a split second, the craft disappeared at a 30-degree angle in the sky. The speed appeared to be faster, there's claiming, than a light turning on in a room, basically almost the speed of light. Within seconds, it had disappeared completely, and I can say for sure that the craft was dark-colored, oval in shape, and made no sound whatsoever. This is coming in from the people aboard this vessel. Apparently, NUFORC followed up with the witness by telephone and assures the chief's engineer to be very capable and very reliable as a witness. According to the reports, the craft appeared to be over 5 times the size of this supply ship. Supply ship it's massive. It's used to support oil extraction operations. Well, there's only some testimony coming in. We're trying to get the official testimony from the chief engineer because the claims are quite astonishing. The chief engineer says that there are likely dozens of other eyewitnesses aboard an oil rig near the location of the vessel at the time of the sighting. See, get this. This incident took place 80 miles southeast of New Orleans. Well, this is suspiciously close to the location of the 2010 BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Remember that one? Are these two events related? Some people are claiming, ufologists out there have claimed that the oil spill could have been caused by alien visitors in an attempt to wean our fledgling civilization of the perilously dirty fossil fuels on which our modern economy depends on. Well, I don't know. That's a little bit out there. I don't know if the aliens would really want to destroy our oil rigs and cause such an environmental disaster. Now, that's something, but what did this crew aboard this vessel, what did they witness? I'm hoping that person and people aboard that vessel reach out to us at Third Phase Moon. That's what we're doing. We're reaching out to the people. They're reaching out to us. And guess what? We're going to take calls tonight. It's special Monday night radio show. Thanks for joining me. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. And if you've got something important you want to share with us tonight, just press number 1 on your touch tone pad, keypad, or whatever, and you'll be taken straight to the top. Blake Cousins. We'll be right back.
Control, this is flight. We have landed on the moon.
Blake Cousins. Welcome back, everybody from around the world. People are already flash chatting and talking about what I just told them on this live show in regards to what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. And people are saying there have been stories about underwater alien worlds. Well, that's what I want to ask you people tonight. If you've got an opinion, whether you believe that there are aliens living underneath the oceans, not of this world, like aliens from another planet, and have they used our oceans as a hiding cloaking device for them to hide there underneath the seas of the ocean? Do you think USOs exist? Why would they be hiding there? All these questions. Hopefully we could get some answers tonight. Have you seen a USO yourself? I know the Malibu coast off California is a big hot spot, and so is the Gulf of Mexico, according to this eyewitness testimony within the past few days now. All right, let's bring in the callers. Let's get to it. Let's go to area code 443. You made it to the show.
Hey, guys. It's the Truth from Baltimore. How y'all doing?
Doing good, Truth. Doing good. What do you think? Do you think USOs are out there underneath the water? Are aliens utilizing the ocean as basically cover to hide their existence?
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. As I was explaining to you guys with some of the evidence that I currently have, it seems that the aliens like to go to places where not too many human beings go, or not where human beings spend a lot of time. You know, so the ocean will be the perfect place for them to hide. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, and this recent report out of the Gulf of Mexico, you know, why would a captain and his crew fake some kind of massive story about this unless they really saw what they saw? There would be nothing to be gained by that except ridicule. So I really believe that the statement coming in from the crew member is legit, and apparently there was some backup information from Newfork that was saying that the testimonies seems very genuine.
Well, that would be great. What we need to do is see if there's anyone out there with any evidence, any photographs, you know, any videos that may have been taken of the objects, because not so long ago you guys had some photographs, some objects being taken by the Navy, I think, out at sea. And those photographs look extremely legit to me. Real UFOs coming out of the ocean.
Yeah, are you talking about those incredible photographs of what looks to be like a massive craft either crashing into the ocean or emerging out of the ocean, and the thing looks like the size of almost a Zeppelin blimp of some sort? Like, are these the photographs you're talking about?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and they're very clear. And as you can see, it doesn't look like anything that's from Earth. That's for sure. Definitely doesn't look like anything that's from Earth. And, you know, like I said, the ocean, it would be a perfect place for the aliens to hide. You know, if they have vehicles, UFOs that can withstand the pressures of the ocean, the waters of the ocean, they don't even have to use their cloaking device. They can just go down to a depth where most human beings are unable to go and live there as if, you know, as if they've been here the whole time. And they may have been. We don't know. They may have been here the whole time, you know?
Well, absolutely. There are even aliens that are, I guess, evolved from planet Earth that they look alien, and they're deep, deep down in that water. 4 to 7 miles down, they're finding new life all the time. And some of these creatures, they almost look like UFOs themselves or something out of a sci-fi movie. What's the purpose? I wonder what would happen if we ever came across an alien base that's been abandoned for years or is being occupied right now. We probably know this. They probably have come across it. They're just not telling us. But what about like the Jacques Cousteau or the famous explorers out there? If they came across this, I wonder if they'd be able to get it out. They would have to share that video with Third Phase of Moon immediately so we can get it out quick.
Sounds like a great idea, guys. You guys are number one. And, you know, despite what, you know, a couple other people that's out there that's in this field is saying, we rank number one. And, you know, you guys show the realest information. You have been doing this for years. I do have a lot of information that I've been hearing about on the show for the past 4 weeks, and I've been trying to get back on to let you guys know. The cryptoid that Jack captured was actually he's on a motorbike or something, and he's pulling up, and you can see the alien over on the side of the road. That alien being turns. It turns, guys. It moves. So whatever that was, it was alive. I have photographs of the same type of beings that I took in my neighborhood back in Randallstown as well. So that is totally legitimate from Jack. Also, the gentleman who claimed that he was being attacked by aliens on his ranch said that some of the material from his sword chopping into the aliens, it went on the glass or something like that. It said that it was like a plant-type material, biomaterial, whatever. Well, I can attest to having these beings that look like, you know, they half plant, half alien, like half cow, like maybe 3 different species combined into one that I actually have on film as well. So I can account to that as well. And the red fiery orbs, a gentleman called on about a couple of weeks ago, said that he had seen a couple of those flying around in his neighborhood. I've also seen those as well. So I can relate to a lot of the things that I've currently heard over the past 4 weeks, including what you guys are talking about tonight. I've actually seen a UFO rise up from a little part in the neighborhood that I was in where I got the other information from as well. So, yes, sometimes these UFOs must have some type of relation to water.
You know, it does. It makes sense. It makes sense that it'd be a perfect hiding spot, and why not hide out where it would be pretty much impossible for even human technology to come visit them. It's easier to go to the moon than go to the deepest depths of the ocean and try and send a man down there. Let me tell you, much less try and look for alien life. It's dangerous business. Dangerous business. All right. Hey, well, Truth, appreciate the call. Appreciate the call in, and you keep in touch. Give me some more photos. Give me some good video. You know we love that stuff. Get it over, and appreciate what you just said there. All right, let's bring in more callers. We've got a lot of callers. Don't be shy. Just press number 1 on your keypad, and we'll get to you. If you got something you want to share, you want to chime in about, what do you think about alien existence within the Earth's oceans? You're with me right now, area code 530. How you doing?
Hey, Blake. My name's John. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. How you doing? So what do you think of the topic? Do you think aliens would be wise enough, or would it be a good idea
to
hide in the Earth's ocean?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen one come out of the Lake Michigan, actually. So I was on a nature walk with some friends, and
okay, go ahead.
It was nice and sunny out. We were just walking, and like all of a sudden, there's just like a random ass storm just comes out of nowhere, and it just gets all foggy and rainy, windy, really windy, and we see something come out of the water about the size of a Walmart, and that was just really weird.
Okay, that's quite interesting because the crew member aboard this vessel off the Gulf of Mexico was saying pretty much the exact same thing. This vessel that he was in is out there to assist oil rigs, so it's massive. And he said, I think it was approximately 5 times bigger than his vessel itself. So that's quite large. Yeah, I've heard the term Walmart-sized UFO. So did it disturb the water? How did it come out of the water? Was it loud? Because, you know, when you displace a lot of water, I know how it sounds. It gets loud.
It was like octagonal. There's like orbs in each corner, the shape of a octagon or a hexagon, actually, probably. But yeah, really strange.
So no sound whatsoever as it came out of Lake Michigan. What were you with friends? What were they saying?
Oh, dude, they were freaking out more than me. I was kind of just taking it in and just trying to see what it was, you know. Didn't really know much about UFOs until that happened.
Yeah, you're going to do some research after that event. So What did your friends say about it afterwards? I'm sure you see something like that, you're going to be talking about it for a little bit.
We were driving around in Sonoma County, California, about 3 months ago, and we were just on our way to a Safeway, and we saw the same thing in the dark, same orbs in the shape of a hexagon, Walmart size, same thing. But that took place in California. That wasn't in Michigan. But another weird thing is that we had gone to the Safeway and we were in an aisle, and that same night, and there were like about 20 people in that aisle, and they were all flipping things backwards, and they were totally unconscious. They were all like under some like mind control or something. The weirdest thing I've ever seen in a store. Just some mother with her kids and just random people. Every type of person was in that aisle. Like about 80% of that store was just doing the same thing. Really trippy.
Yeah, that sounds weird. Something out of a Stephen King novel. So were you trying to get anybody's attention to maybe snap them out of it? Did you stick around?
Yeah. I had a guy what he was doing, and he just looked at me and then looked back at the shelves and continued what he was doing.
Man, that is weird. So I don't know what that would be. A mass. I've heard of small populations that have all reacted the same way in a weird way, and nobody could explain why or what the reason was. Could it have been some kind of a EMP, a pulse of some sort? Something going on in their brains, but you weren't affected by it? That's quite strange. You heard some crazy stuff right here at Third Phase of Moon, but you gotta give the callers credit for sharing their incredible stories, and it sounds like it could be true. And dealing with people, talking to people on the radio, there's a lot of truth out there. Blake Cousins, stand by. We'll be right back. Here we go. We're back. We're live. Let's bring in the callers. Area code 415. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon.
Hello?
Hi there. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
Hi. Okay, my name is Brenda, and I'm calling from San Francisco.
Wow, you're coming in really loud and clear, and I'm glad you could make it with us tonight. That's awesome. Let me ask you quickly,
Sure.
Have you ever seen a USO flying saucer or any kind of UFOs that have come out of San Francisco Bay over there?
No, and I really wish, but I think we have way too much light. It's unbelievable. I mean, you really can't see stars in San Francisco. You can only see like a couple here and there, and mostly, and probably more like planets, because there's just so much light. I've never seen, anything come in and out of the water, but at the same time, there's no question, I believe, that they definitely are there. We can't even go to the depths that I'm sure that they can go to. So it makes total sense to me that what people have been seeing is definitely happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the sky in San Francisco, it's not because you can't see the stars because of pollution. Actually, I love San Francisco because it's a real clean city. But, yeah, you're right. With all the lights up there, it really bounces off the atmosphere, and it's hard to see the stars. But appreciate it. So, wow, you got something you want to share to the world tonight? I'd sure like to hear it.
Well, Blake, I had a question, and hopefully maybe someone out there can answer this question. But I had, when I was very, very small, when I was a little girl, I had someone, there was I guess, I don't know what it was. But anyway, several times this little visitor came and took me out of my bed and brought me back. That's the only part I remember. I remember what it looked like. I don't remember its face. I just remember it had a big bald head and a little body. It wasn't much taller than my bed, and I was about 4. And this happened several times. Through time. But, when you're little, you really can't, gauge time. But this happened many times. It didn't happen again until I was 21 and living in San Francisco. And then I just remember the most bizarre thing happened. I just woke up. For some reason, I was hungry. I just moved into this apartment. I was going to make a sandwich, and I couldn't find the mayonnaise, and so I said, forget it. I went back to bed. I looked at the clock, and I looked at the time, and it was 2:53. And so I laid back down and just tried to relax. And then all of a sudden I felt this very strange energy. I've never heard anyone talk about this energy before. And it started at my toes, and it felt very good. It actually did not feel scary or anything like that. It felt very relaxing, and it just slowly moved up my body. I know this sounds strange, but God is my witness, it's the truth. And so as it's moving up my body, I'm sort of semi-conscious, and I'm going, this feels pretty good. So I kept my eyes shut. I did feel my one leg go over the other leg, and I went, did I do that? You're still semi-conscious but not totally conscious. And I'm just sort of like, it feels good, whatever's happening, and it starts moving farther up. And again, this is a very comforting kind of energy. So anyway, it finally got to like where my arms were, and I felt my right arm go up just where my elbow was. And that's when I became like conscious, and I said, I did not do that. And so I tried to move my arm back down, and I couldn't move it down. And I opened my eyes, and just for literally like less than a second, I looked over, and what I saw were 2 little beings standing right by my bed. I was absolutely petrified. I did see that I saw what they were wearing, and again, I don't remember their faces. I don't know why you blanked that out, but I blanked it out. But it was sort of like they gave me this layback, like not to get upset or something like that. And all I did was just close my eye. I had closed my eyes again, and I just started praying. I didn't know what to do. I was like so scared. And I wasn't into sci-fi, so I knew nothing about this stuff. I'd forgotten all about what had happened to me as a child. But anyway, I've never heard anybody talk about this this energy that they, possibly can use, and that it just, slowly goes up to your body. Anyway, I did have missing time. I don't remember their faces. I had 2 hours of missing time, and they left, like they brought me back right before dawn. So, that happened when I was 21, and, I don't even know what to say. So it was something I just was hoping if somebody ever had that experience or something similar to it, it would help out.
Well, that's you should stay tuned to Third Phase Moon and keep tuned in, because there's a lot of people that share the exact same experience that you just shared, which is quite incredible, and it's very authentic. My brother and I had a station when we're about 4 to 5 years old, and it was basically the same thing. We had 3 little alien entities enter our bedroom as well, and never saw them again. But these guys were wearing like little jumpsuits, and they were again, there was no threat to it, and we didn't see them leave the place as well. Like, that's kind of interesting, because you said you closed your eyes and then maybe there was some missing time over there. So that's quite interesting.
Because I was looking at my clock. I had one of those digital clocks. Well, it wasn't a digital clock. It was the flip numbers. Remember those? I don't know if you do or not, but they had large black and white, numbers. And so, I saw the time, and then when I came back, there were like 2 hours of missing time. And, I just remember, like, all of a sudden being really scared, laying there going, are they still here? Are they still here? But the energy felt so different in the room than when they were there, and so I finally got up the nerve to get up and turn the light on and, try to wait for my friends to get up so I could call them and say, I need to come over.
Yeah, well, it takes guts to get out of your bed and turn the light on in the dark, dealing with possible abduction entities in the room. That takes a lot of guts.
I think so, but I mean, did they do that to you and your brother? I mean, did you feel that strange energy or anything like that?
Well, we felt that there was some kind of a presence. That's what probably woke us up, is because they weren't really making much noise whatsoever. There was little pittering and pattering around with their little small footsteps, which is really quite interesting. But we weren't afraid, and we basically were just kind of looking at them. But again, I couldn't tell you what happened after the fact. I don't remember how they departed the room. All I just remember, it was really we didn't know what to think. We're like 4 to 5 years old, and it was quite an experience, and one you'll never forget, even at that age. Appreciate the call.
Did you remember their faces?
Quite amazing.
Do you remember their faces?
Well, we could go into a little bit more detail. Yeah, let's just say they had the big black eyes and really small features. Their nose and their mouth were really small, kind of like a small, line for a mouth, a little slit, and then no really ears. But then what was really weird is their heads were abnormally big, like 3 times the size of you would imagine a human head on a body. But these things were only about 3.5 feet tall, about 3.5 feet tall, no taller than 4 feet. But what was weird was their heads were so large, but if you look at the back of their head, it was a little concave, like a little crease. And we went to our parents the next morning. We said, there's these guys with we call them butt heads. We didn't know how else to explain it, but there's these little guys with big heads, shaped like a butt head or whatever. And it's kind of, but 4 to 5 year old vocabulary at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great description. I don't remember seeing the backs of their heads, but I just, I remember that their outfits, were skin tight. Their bodies were really, really tiny. I was a little girl when I remember, and then even when I was 21, I was just, this isn't human, because it is like really skinny, tiny little arms and tiny little bodies. I mean, they were just, bigger heads, and
exactly,
right,
really
like
lanky.
Yeah, and there was a sheen to this uniform or outfit, whatever you want to call it. It had like a sheen to it. I'm not saying it's luminescent where it lit up, but it was like, almost like moonlight shining on a white.
Well, let me ask you this about their attire, because when I'm looking at it, and I think me and my brother agree on this, is that let me ask you, because I got a feeling it's going to be the same answer. They're pretty tight-fitting
yes.
like suits that they had on.
Tight.
It wasn't like baggy uniform.
No, it was like skin. It was just that tight. That was what, yes, exactly. Exactly. And the thing that was really strange, too, was that they felt, to me, feminine. I don't know why, I have no idea if they were male or female. I didn't see any boobs or anything like that. I mean, they felt feminine to me, like on a different level. I don't know how to explain that. But, yeah, I can't understand why I don't remember their faces, and that I don't remember anything. Yeah. But anyway, I thought I really wanted to share that with you. But there is no doubt in my mind that we are being visited by aliens, and they're probably living amongst us. And I'm very sad that our world is in the condition it's in right now. But all we can do is really hope that the truth does come out. And I believe that the more people that listen and learn and open their minds, the better chance we have of bringing out the truth. So that's
that's perfectly said. That's all we could really, really do. And the world is a fantastic place too. You got to admit, we're in a time and age that we, as a human race, has never experienced this kind of technology. Apparently, that we're enjoying right now. Let's just see on how the technology takes us, and if
sure.
And common sense. Common sense is a missing, basically, virtue. It's a missing virtue for a lot of people in charge right now.
I thoroughly agree, and I'm just, like I said, I think that the world could be a much better place. And, we, again, just have to believe, that, I mean, come on, that would be such an incredible amount of wasted space out there. I mean, let's just open up our hearts and our minds, be intelligent, watch Ancient Aliens, watch these programs that, and listen to Third Phase of Moon, and just, realize that, hey, there's a lot of excitement out there. So let's all get excited, and let's keep our heads on, and let's use common sense. It's real. It is happening, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Fear only creates, horrible things, and there's no reason to fear. Curiosity, compassion, that's what opens the gates.
Absolutely, absolutely. So eloquently well said there. I appreciate that caller so much. It's what we need in Third Phase. Just these really articulate people that want to share an incredible experience. And wow, it was really fun for me and Brent, because we're both going back and forth right now talking about our experiences. And it's been a long time since that happened, but it almost feels like it was yesterday. It sticks with you when you've had these experiences with, in our opinion, alien encounters, not of this planet. Interdimensional? Possibly. All right, let's get to another caller. Area code 563. Welcome to the show. Area code 563. You there? You're live. I don't know. I don't know why 563. They want to ask a question. They're pressing number 1 just like they should, but they're silent. Reminds me of a song by Paul Barrett called Lost in Space. Listen to it, and we'll be right back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control, this is Flight, and we have a situation here. Control?
March 21st, 2017, coming out in Mexico. A lot of witnesses. These are correlation between the BP oil rig. It's right in close proximity to where this event happened. Stay tuned for more updates. We're going to be doing this again live this Friday. So why don't you join me this Friday and stay tuned to Third Phase of Moon for more pretty much daily updates in regards to this UFO phenomenon happening every day, 24/7. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We'll see you Friday night.